Hey everybody, my name is Kris Amerikos and welcome to my language teaching business channel. This channel is for you if you want to start your own language teaching business or if you are currently the owner or manager of a language teaching business. This channel is also for ESL, EFL, ELT, and ESOL teachers and those who are currently studying or training to become a language teacher. The videos you'll find on this channel address topics related to the language teaching business sphere. I've been a certified teacher of English as a foreign language since 2009. I've been a teacher trainer, the founder and owner of a language teaching business, the director of studies, and the HR director of a language teaching business since 2011. And I've been a teacher recruiter and a consultant to language teaching businesses since 2012. And that's what I do to this day. I'm just all about language teaching businesses. And right now, of course, the biggest language is English. It's the language that's used most often in business, and it's what we call a lingua franca, or a global language. And that's probably why a lot of people get confused about the different abbreviations and designations that are attributed to different professionals in this sphere. So the question I'm going to be answering in this video is, what is the difference between ESL, EFL, ELT, and ESOL? Or you might have also heard words like TEFL, TESL, and TESOL. And I understand how someone who's just getting into this industry might be a little confused with all of these different terms. So before I answer that and tell you about the differences between the different terms that I've just mentioned, I just want to remind you that if you have any questions or offers for me, you can send them to my email. If you're not sure how to spell it, just check the description below this video. You'll also find a link below this video where you can schedule a free strategy session to discuss your current or future language teaching business. I've worked with companies that have hundreds of employees and companies that only have one employee. I've worked with companies that have been around for 40 or 50 years, and I've worked with companies that haven't even been founded yet. During your free strategy session, we'll look at how your business is performing right now, or how you're planning on your business to perform, and how I can help you get bigger and better results. And guys, I only work with winners. I only want to work with companies that are going to win, that are going to get results, and that are going to meet their goals. Because everybody loves a success story, and second place is just as good as last place. There's no almost when it comes to getting results. If you want to set up a predictable system in your language teaching business that will allow you to generate revenue month after month after month, click on that link down in the description and sign up for a free strategy session today. All right. Now let's get back to the topic at hand. You know, a lot of people stress the difference between ESL, EFL, ESOL, and a lot of other different abbreviations. And sure, it's important to note the differences. So let's look at the main ones. ESL stands for English as a Second Language, whereas EFL stands for English as a Foreign Language. And ESOL stands for English to Speakers of Other Languages. So just by definition, you can see where the difference is. For example, maybe a person already knows a second or third language. Then by definition, it's not correct for us to say that this is English as a second language, right? Probably this is English as a foreign language. But you would be surprised because in the industry, in the language teaching business market, people tend to use specific terms depending on where they're located and depending on their experience with other professionals. So for example, if you're from the United States and you've gone through a college or university program to teach English as a foreign language, then probably they didn't call it EFL. They probably called it ESOL. And probably they stressed that this is much different from ESL or EFL. However, when you travel to other countries or work with people who are not based in the United States and do not work in this educational system or construct, people tend to refer to this sphere and this industry as ESL. ESL is probably the most important of these three terms. Not because of what it means, right? If we compare ESOL and EFL and ESL, then ESL is kind of the smallest category, just using the words in this abbreviation. Because ESOL, English to Speakers of Other Languages, is very big and broad, whereas English as a foreign language and English as a second language is a little smaller of a category. But do these things really matter in real life when professionals are speaking to each other? And the answer is, they do a little bit, but probably they shouldn't. Let me tell you why. Nobody cares if you're teaching ESOL or EFL or ESL as long as you get results. And in most cases, students want to learn how to speak or how to use the language. In some cases, they might just want to pass an exam. Regardless, there are a set of skills that English language professionals need to have in order to get results for their clients or their students. And whether you call that ESOL or EFL or ESL, it doesn't really matter because we're all working towards the same goal. Some people might also refer to something called ELT or English Language Teaching. Again, this is another abbreviation for the same thing. Yes, you will find professionals out there. You will find books that have been published stating the differences between these different categories, between these different terms, and what it really means in practice. So if you're interested in that, and if you think that that's worthwhile, go ahead and read about those differences to find out more. But guys, as my experience as a teacher trainer, and as a language teaching business owner, I can tell you that this difference is very, very minuscule and not very important in getting the job done. So my answer for you is you need to know ESL as the global name that is used in most places and most frequently to describe teaching English to someone who does not speak this language as a native language or as a first language. This sphere or industry is called ESL. And yeah, it's good to be aware of the other terms too. Now, when we talk specifically about teachers and about teaching, then we usually use the term TEFL, T-E-F-L, or Teacher of English as a Foreign Language. So someone might say that they are an ESL teacher, or someone might say that they are a TEFL teacher. And this can be pretty confusing too, because TEFL is not just about teaching English. It's actually a certification. And there are several different certifications that one might get in order to become a certified teacher of English as a foreign language. Now, those of you who aren't teachers already and haven't gone through this process yet, you're probably asking yourself, why do I need to be certified? I speak English. That means I can teach it, right? And let me tell you, there's a big difference between knowing a language and teaching a language. And there's also a big difference between teaching a language to native speakers of that language and teaching a language to non-native speakers of that language. That's where we come in. So some of those other qualifications that someone might get are CELTA and TKT. Now, generally speaking, the TKT is for non-native speakers of English who want to become English teachers. And native-speaking teachers usually get different certifications, either TEFL or CELTA. And CELTA certifications and TEFL certifications can be very, very different. You can find a lot of TEFL certifications online, and they tend to be cheaper, whereas a CELTA certification usually requires you to do a lot more, and it also costs more. So whether you're here because you're the director or manager of a language teaching business, or maybe you're looking to hire teachers for your language teaching business, or maybe you need some consultation or some advice on what you should do to start your language teaching business, if any of those things are about you, feel free to go down to the description of this video and click the link to sign up for a free strategy session with me. If you have other questions or offers, you can send them to my email, which you'll also find in the description of the video. And guys, don't get confused with all of the different terms and acronyms and abbreviations that are out there. There are a ton. And to be a professional in this sphere, you need to know all of them. But to get results and to get started, you really only need to know two. ESL, which describes the sphere of English for non-native speakers, and TEFL, which describes the sphere of teaching English to non-native speakers. I hope that gives you guys a little more insight into the ESL and TEFL industries. And now you know what kind of videos to expect on this channel. If you think content like this video is useful and you'd like to see more, press like and press subscribe. Good luck in your language teaching business and come back for another video.